Hello, so today I'm going to be making some ginger cakes. These are delicious if you make them ahead of time and let them have at least 24 hours to fully kind of become juicy and sticky and really get moister as they get older. Don't ask me why, it's some kind of voodoo science. But they are delicious if you can make them at least 24 hours before you're going to eat them. So today I'm making them for my husband. He's recently been diagnosed with IBS, so he has to have no dairy, no gluten, no anything with joy in it basically. So today we're using this stork stuff. It's not butter. I wish it was butter, but it's some kind of plant-based not butter. So we're sticking in about 100 grams of that. And we'll hope for the best because I've never made it without actual dairy and gluten before, so we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully it'll be grand. Into that I'm going to add, it should be 50 grams of dark brown sugar and 50 grams of light brown sugar, but I don't have dark brown sugar, so instead I'm going to add castor sugar, and we'll just hope for the best. It'll be fine. So 50 grams of each of those sugars. In it goes. We're also going to add in 50 grams of treacle and 75 grams of golden syrup. And then we're going to pop all of this mixture onto the hob and let it melt into some ooey gooey loveliness. Oh, I forgot to say we're adding in the rest of the syrup from the jar of stem ginger that I've been using. So we are going to add in some chopped up stem ginger to this cake as well, just for an extra little bit of gingery, crunchy goodness. There we go, golden syrup, that's a nice easy squeezy one. It did take me about half an hour to get the lid off of the treacle because it had welded itself shut. So if anyone's got any top tips for getting the lid off treacle, please drop them in the comments because it did take me a hot minute. There's something very satisfying about watching treacle come off a spoon though, isn't there? It is very satisfying. Ooh, look at the drizzle. This is going to be delicious. I always think treacle is going to be absolutely delicious, and then whenever I like a spoon, I'm like, no, not delicious. Delicious in a cake. Anyway, we're moving on to the dry ingredients. So this is Dove's Farm gluten-free, joy-free, happiness-free flour. We're going to see how it works. Because it's not got any gluten in it, we're going to add some xanthan gum, about a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and it's about 150 grams of plain flour. Then we're going to add in some ginger, about half a teaspoon of ginger, but obviously I want a lot of ginger because I like a lot of ginger, so I've put in about 2 teaspoons of ginger. And then we're adding in some cinnamon and some mixed spice. So about a teaspoon of mixed spice and half a teaspoon of cinnamon. But I like my cake very spicy, so I've at least doubled those quantities because, you know, I like a bit of spice in my life. If you don't like it spicy, cut them in half. You do you, boo, and make it how you want it. And then we're going to add in a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. I would say do not miss the bicarbonate of soda. I did once make this and got distracted and didn't put in the bicarb of soda, and it was a solid ginger rock. It was delicious, but it was a solid ginger rock. There was no raisin in it at all. So definitely don't forget the bicarb of soda. And then the recipe says that you should put this all in, mix it together, and then let the heated up mixture on the stovetop cool, and then add it and all the rest of it. I haven't got time for that. I am running around chasing after 3 children at the same time as trying to make something delicious that I'm really craving. So we're just going to chuck everything in at once, and once the syrupy mixture is all melted together, I don't care if it's cool, we're just going to chuck it in and hope for the best. So instead of adding milk, I'm adding oat milk because, again, we're doing this dairy free for my husband. And it's about 75 grams of milk and 1 large egg as well. In they all go, stick it in the stand mixer, whiz it all together. Lovely. This is not what the recipe says we should be doing, but this is what we're doing because we don't have time to mess about. Now that's all mixed together so the egg doesn't split, we're going to stick in the warmed up ginger syrupy mixture. Here we go, that's it. It looks kind of grim. It looks a bit like gravy at the moment, to be honest. It doesn't smell like gravy, it smells quite nice, but it looks like gravy. In it goes. Yummy. Mix. I've named my stand mixer Mary Berry. So if you ever hear me talk about Mary Berry, that is my stand mixer. She is my best friend in the kitchen. Don't know how I ever survived without her. And she's going to give this a really good mix because I've done it wrong and not according to the recipe. It is very lumpy, but this is the joy of the stand mixer. Just whack it up, give it a couple of minutes while you're distracted with children. She makes it beautiful and smooth and delicious, like you would never have known there was a lump in there at all. Look how smooth that is now. Well done, Mary Berry. And then we're going to add in the chopped up stem ginger, so about 4 bowls of chopped up stem ginger. It will obviously sink to the bottom because no matter what I do to it, it sinks to the bottom. Whether I coat it in flour, put it in first, put it in last, put it in all the different times, put it in just on the top when I put the cakes into the cake tin. Doesn't matter, sinks to the bottom. So we're just going to roll with it and enjoy the fact that there'll be a delicious gingery bite at the bottom of this cake. And now we've got to get it into the cake tin. So normally I would make this as a loaf in a loaf tin and just slice it up. But to make it easier, because probably it's going to be mostly my husband just grabbing it to go, we are just going to make it into muffins today. Here is my muffin tray, Blue Peter style, one I made earlier, or while Mary Berry was mixing. And we're just going to stick it in. It is really runny, so you do have to kind of just pour. It's not a great angle for seeing me pour stuff in, and I am not the neatest pourer, so stuff goes everywhere, but you know, it'll taste just as good, doesn't matter. Once it's all poured in, we are going to put the oven, we've preheated the oven up to 180°C, 160 degrees fan or gas mark 4, and we are just going to pop them in. Normally it would take the best part of an hour, at least 45 minutes in a loaf tin shape, but because we're doing these as muffins, we're going to give them half an hour and then check and see what they're looking like. Oh, it looks delicious. Nom 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 nom. So this is making about 12 muffins at the moment, or 1 loaf tin, which is quite nice. You can make an icing for these cakes when they're finished. If you want to, you could just put 75 grams of icing sugar and 2 tablespoons of the syrup from the stem ginger jar, mix it together and make a lovely drizzly, gingery icing to cover them. But quite honestly, I haven't got the time or the inclination to do that today because I have children running around and there's a limit to what I can get done. So the fact that we're making cake at all, that's a win. So we're going to stick these in the oven for about half an hour and then check them. I think they took slightly longer from memory because it's a couple of days later now that I'm doing this voiceover. I think, oh, there you go, lovely view of my hand. And we're away to take them out of the oven. I think they took about 40 minutes, but it does take best part of an hour when it's in the loaf tin, so still quicker. And I'm clearly very slow at getting things out of the oven. Here we go. They look delicious. The smell is very nice as well. If you've ever smelled ginger cake when it's straight out of the oven, it is delicious. So just testing with a cocktail stick, coming out clean, happy with that. So I'm going to burn my fingers now by taking them all out of the tin. And here we go, they've cooled down a bit, so I'm just going to show you what they look like inside. They don't look like normal, I'll be honest, because I've used the joy-free flour, but they still look good. Clearly I can't find the lens. I'm doing well. You can tell it's my first time trying to make food videos. And they're a lot crumblier than normal because it's, as I say, gluten-free flour, but they've still got a nice crumb to them. If I'd left this for 24 hours, it would be a lot stickier and gingerier and gooier and more delicious. But it still tastes great, straight out the oven. It's nice and warm. It's delicious. Enjoy!